everyone, welcome back to my channel. You can see by the title you know exactly what I'm doing today. Am I ready for it? No. Will I be offended? Maybe a little bit for some of them because they are dearly placed in my heart, but today I'm going to be reading 1-star reviews on Goodreads of my favourite books. I've picked 6 out. Obviously these aren't all my favourite books, but I have rated these probably 5-star or 4.5. I just hold them close to my heart. They might not be the best writing ever, but I think at the time that I read them, like nostalgia wise, I loved them, and I understand that everyone's opinion is their own and reading is very subjective, and what I like other people may not like, but I just want to be really funny and I love watching these videos on YouTube as well. So we're going to delve into it. I'm not ready. So we're going to start off with Reckless by Elsie Silver. This is the 4th book in the Chestnut Spring series. I have read all of them, but this is by far my favourite. In this one we have got Theo and Winter as our main characters. If you haven't read it, you should. Got my trusty iPad here as well. This is what I'm going to be reading the reviews on. So let's search this up. Okay, starting off strong, we've got this book series has officially broken my brain. I'm DNFing this and I never DNF. The writing is so cringy and I can't take it anymore at this point. I want to physically hurt this book, but I'll settle for throwing them away. Truly anyone can write and throw it into the world, and I think that's kind of beautiful. Not, my god, what a hot mess. Okay, I understand people DNFing and things, and in romances like these, like small town, like cowboy romances, the whole premise is that some of it is a little bit cringe. I think that's why people read them. Like, it's a simple romance that makes you feel good and is quick and easy to read, and the way Elsie Silver does it I think is amazing personally, but wouldn't call it a hot mess in my opinion. DNF at 41%, the only kind of pregnancy that I accept in a romance book, and to be fair, me too. Like, it's not a spoiler because it happens at the start and it's on the synopsis as well, but they basically have a one-night stand and she falls pregnant, and they said, but I was so bored, I wanted to read about Winter since the first book, but I was disappointed here. See, I didn't want to read about Winter and I thought I wouldn't like her, but I ended up absolutely loving her as probably one of my favourite female main characters from the Chestnut Spring series. Where's the chemistry? This book is like full on chemistry. The way they act and the way they're brought together, I absolutely loved it. And you can probably have chemistry with anyone, and it was like Grumpy Sunshine, and yeah, don't agree with that one. The oh no, I didn't know about the baby reason is weak as like 18 months and he did not try to contact her, he never heard about her or the baby. And this, fair point, it's very dramatized. I can agree with this one like a tiny bit, but we overlook it because the book was amazing. And what's with the Eton being not really nice to Winter, like she's Nesta? Now I don't want to finish this one. I probably not read the next one. Oh, that's really sad because these are standalones, and I feel like if you don't particularly like one story, you should definitely read the others because you will find one that's definitely up your street. Next time we've got Why Does the Pregnancy Trope Ruin Everything? I'm 100% agree with people that I don't really like the pregnancy trope. I feel like authors kind of throw it in sometimes because they don't really know what else to do and they kind of exhausted all other options. But I feel like this book wouldn't have been this book without the pregnancy trope, and it just brought a whole nother side out to Theo, I think, that nobody else could see, and it just brought out his loving side. And the same with Winter. I feel like we kind of see her as this harsh character throughout the earlier books, and we get to know her and her actual story, and I just thought it was really nice, and Elsie writ it so well. Final one for Reckless. I heard only good things about this. I feel like it is really loved, this book, out of all of them. So maybe I'm the problem. Yeah, babe. Maybe you are. But I didn't finish it, and I normally make myself finish books. Well, that's on you because you shouldn't do that. It's healthy to DNF, and you should never force yourself to read because you could be spending that time finding another book that you really love. That's how ass this was. Also, the kid is irritating me, and so is Winter. Maybe I'll finish it. Well, are you DNFing it or are you finishing it? I want some ground proof evidence here. But what do you mean by the kid? Like, do you mean Cade's son or like the baby? Because it's a baby, how can the baby irritate you? That's all I'm saying. Like, the baby doesn't talk. It probably says like, what, 2 words in the whole book? I just want to know. So that wasn't too bad, I would say. It didn't hurt my feelings too much. And some of the reviews were valid, like pregnancy trope. A lot of people don't like it, and I understand Y is just a bit meh. Like, it's probably my least favourite of the tropes, but honestly, I loved Reckless so much. Okay, moving on to one that I'm very scared about, Magnolia Parks. This is the first book in the Magnolia Parks universe. This is the only one that I've actually read because I'm currently on a book buying ban, so I haven't been able to pick up the other books in the series, but honestly, can't wait to binge them all when I do. And I'm very scared about this because Magnolia Parks isn't like, there isn't a plot to it. It's more like character development stories where we kind of just follow this group of people in London. They're like really rich, and this relationship that our main characters Magnolia and BJ have is quite toxic and immature in some ways, you would say. It just makes for the best story, and I connected with them so much. So let's see what the public are saying. Not ready for this one. First one up, we've got, I can enjoy toxic romance, but this is badly written, boring, repetitive, and a ship with no chemistry. I'm not sure what book you were reading, hun. Yeah, wasting my time. BJ has to be one of the most annoying characters I've ever read about. I won't continue reading this. Do not come for BJ, okay? I don't know why. Maybe it just shows my standards with men, but we love a toxic king, in my opinion. And but a lot of the things they do is like so relatable, and a lot of things that people go through in young relationships, I find, more so like around that 18 to 20-year-old, when boys like haven't really done that growing up yet. And I feel like this is where BJ stands. No chemistry. These two people were written in the stars to be together, and I will forever back that unless the next books convince me otherwise. Okay, DNF at 51%. I want to throat punch every character in this book. Oh, I don't think they deserve that. Don't come for the characters if you don't like the writing. They're not that annoying. I know some things they do are questionable, and I'll admit that. Oh no, we don't want to throat punch them. That's just a little bit aggressive. Oh my god, no, I've just been cracking up at this one. Finish this in a day, and at what cost? So you read it in a day. Does that mean you enjoyed it, or are you just like quick reader? Because I will say, like, some books are, sometimes I think they're bad, but they're almost like binge worthy, like you can't put them down. I know this is what Magnolia Parks is to some people, and they've said, I don't understand the hype surrounding his blowjob, dude. Girlie should do better. Yeah, I will agree, Magnolia can do better, but she also does some really toxic things in this book that are just as bad as BJ. They almost like battle back and forth of messing up, but I do understand that BJ started it all with his actions. So yeah, this is kind of valid. For some reason I've not got many 1 stars on here. I don't know if that's just my Goodreads. We'll do one final one for Magnolia because there doesn't seem to be many showing up on here. This has got to be the worst book that I've ever read. I can't tell you the plot because I generally don't know what I just read. It's just 2 adult children effing other people and whining about how they love the other person so much. If I had to read one more head-to-toe description of an outfit, including the designer, pattern and season, I was going to scream. Just 2 people that never grew up after high school and need to go to either therapy or leave each other the hell alone. It's not romantic, it's annoying and toxic. Good God. If you like to read about 25-year-olds asleep with everybody but each other, then the Magnolia Parks universe is for you. That had a lot in it. I just need to like digress that a little bit. Worst book that they've ever read. That's sad for them. They're missing out. More Magnolia and BJ for me. Can't tell you the plot. Like I said, there like isn't a plot. You're following someone's lives, and it's almost like watching a reality TV show or like a Gossip Girl-esque. If you don't look up on that before you read it, you probably won't get what you're expecting. The 2 people that never grew up after high school and need to go to therapy or leave each other alone. Now, this is definitely 100% true. Doesn't make it bad for me. I enjoyed this aspect of it. It was like refreshing to read because a lot of times in romance, you just follow like that same plot, like they meet, fall, like break up. But this is just like you don't know what's coming next. Just you get your hopes up and then boom! Something breaks your heart. Okay, we survived Magnolia Parks 1-star ratings. I need to get the next ones so quickly because this is making me want to read more. And I'm scared to read Daisy Hates because I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. I feel like people either like Magnolia and BJ or they like the Daisy Hates side of the universe. So the next book that I'm going to look at the reviews for, and one that I will not take criticism on and I will back till the day that I die, Happy Place by Emily Henry. It's tabbed. I got the blue sprayed edges cover from The Works. Wow. This book, I think, is so nostalgic to me. I did a video where I got my friends to pick my reads for a week, and one of my best friends, Liv, picked it because Emily Henry is one of her favourite authors, and I just feel like I fell in love. Like, I read this in a day. It was so good. Yeah, and worth all the hype, I think, on like Book Talk and BookTube, in my opinion. Let's search this one up. I don't really know where people will get negative thoughts for about this. The good thing is, like, you can see the 1 stars are so low, which means this is more loved than it is hated, and we'll have that. No. When I die, I want Emily Henry to lower me into my grave so she can let me down one last time. That's barbaric. And before any of you bring up PWMOV, I don't know what that means, I have my reasons. I consider giving this 3 out of 5 at one point, but the more I think about it, the more it makes me rage. I'll have to split this into parts. Oh, she's saying like, where does she find these names? She just made them up. Will and Harriet are really nice names. I feel like it really suits their personality in a way. I'm not going to read this. I don't really like long reviews on Goodreads. Just can't be dealing with that. Wow, that's so deep though. Lower me into my grave. Like, I understand disliking it, but some people leave these comments and it's just a bit over the top in my opinion. Okay. I was so irritated with this book, I basically hate Reddit. Wow. You should have just DNF'd it, love. So much eye rolling, so much miscommunication. These characters are so idiotic with their decisions and ideas of love, romance. The friend group is also stupid and the way everyone treats each other is terrible. Definitely the worst rom-com I've read and the worst Emily Henry book so far. So I can't be a judge of other Emily Henry books because I think I've read another one, but it was maybe like 2 years ago and I don't actually remember. So I'm just classing this as the first one that I've read. But the miscommunication, the eye rolling and the way they act, I thought it was so real. Like it really made me think that they were like real people when I was reading about their lives. I don't know, like if you've not been in a relationship before, you probably wouldn't understand, but the way that they're dealing with their pain and their hurt and their worries for the future, I just feel like it was so good. But you know, each to their own. You could think that, love. All right, I don't agree with this one at all. DNF, unpopular opinion, you don't need to be so descriptive with every other word. Why are they hating on good writing? In my opinion, the way Emily Henry wrote that book, she created that town where they were, like the cabin, everything. It was just so picturesque and I could just picture it in my mind so easily. I just think the more descriptive it is, the better. I know a lot of people do prefer dialogue, which I am that person. I think it definitely flows a lot nicer when there's loads of dialogue. But I think on like a beach getaway, and the location is the most important thing. So yeah, Queen, thanks for that comment. Was a whole book based on miscommunication and a lack of understanding that it's okay for friendships and relationships to end. It is okay, and I thought that Emily writ it in a beautiful way. Like how these people were scared that their time was coming up. Oh wow. The fact that no one felt like they could talk to each other about anything was insane. This is so real though. Like they did struggle with that and in the books, but I think when you grow up and slowly grow apart from friends that you've known a long time, it does just have that worriness to it. You know, like it's really hard to communicate sometimes as an adult. I don't know. I really relate to that anyway. That'll be the last one we do for Happy Place. This video is probably going to be really long. Moving on. I'm not ready for this because I know that this is a love-hate book, but it is really love. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This is probably the book that got me into my reading addiction. The reason I started this channel and found my love for reading again. I loved it so much. I'm nervous. So many more 5-star views than 1 stars. Winner! Some of y'all about to be real mad at me, but this is awful. Also, if this is enemies to lovers, then oh, how mighty have fallen. The amount of time I cringed was insane. I'd rather stick molten hot needles in my eyes than read the sequel. Side note, ratings for this book give me Sound of Freedom vibes. How does the first time fantasy author get from May to August so many reviews and almost all are 5 stars? Because people like it. And it blew up on TikTok and BookTube, so that's why loads of people read it and everyone liked it. I can admit that it's not the best written book that I've read, but I'm so attached to the characters. Maybe without Xaden in it, I may not have liked it as much because he's all I wanted in the male main character. But girl, you should read that sequel because it was really good. This is a 1-star review, but it should be a 5. Is Xaden could spit on me and I would ask him to do it again. Same, girl. I don't think that's a 1-star review. I think that's in the wrong section. I need y'all to start having some standards for the books that you read. Okay, I think I can agree with this one because maybe if I had read a lot of books before I'd read Fourth Wing, I may not have liked it as much if I had more to compare it on. But at the time it was a 5-star and it's a book that I regularly still think about. I think purely for the nostalgia. I think one day I'll probably do a reread to see if it's still a 5-star to me, but I'm sticking with it because I buddy read it with my one of my close friends, Mia, and we were obsessed with it. Okay, one more for Fourth Wing. Do you guys live in Delululand and you think this book is good? Not sorry. Well, I didn't ask you if you were sorry, babe. And Delululand is actually really fun, so you should come and join us. Once again, it is crazy how people's opinions are so different. And I think that's what I love about reading, because it doesn't matter if other people say they hate it, you could love it. So I would probably say just never listen to people's opinions. Take it with a grain of salt, because if everyone's saying it's terrible, then it probably is. But if there's that one person that's like, this was great, you might like it as well. Okay, we're gonna have this as the last book, I've decided. And then I'll probably do this challenge again one day if you guys want to see it. So the final book, Powerless, Lauren Roberts. I've read the novella as well. Powerful, loved it. This was a 5-star. Powerful was a 4.5, and we have Reckless coming out in about 2 weeks, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. But let's see what people said about this. I haven't seen much hate before for Powerless, so let's have a gander. I finished it. That's the nicest thing I can say about this book. Honestly, people on Goodreads are I just feel like I understand leaving comments about what you thought, but some of them are just really harsh. I just don't think I could ever do it. If you took a screenshot every time someone smirked, said vicious little thing, or was wearing a Finn shirt, you'd be hospitalised for liver damage by the second half. Now, I can agree with this one, but it did not affect my love for the book. I really liked her calling her a vicious little thing. I love when they get nicknames, but each to their own. There's just like the general consensus of people comparing this to Wattpad, but it's just so much better in my opinion. Hunger Games really has retrieval to the point that we have this. Powerless has no personality, mainly because it's written around popular tropes. There's so much repetitiveness to the point that it gets annoying real fast. Anyway, this is giving marketing push like Fourth Wing. I mean, I feel like if something does blow up on Book Talk and things, they definitely get a lot of exposure, more than maybe some really loved books. The whole thing about repetitive tropes and famous tropes, that's what we want to read. Like, that's why we read books and choose books, is for the tropes. So I'll back this to my grave that I loved it. And I thought it was really refreshing. I haven't read a book like Powerless. And maybe there are others out there that are similar. Yeah, maybe there's others that are out there that are similar, but it's why I read books, is because it's tropes that because it's tropes that I love. I think we're gonna leave this here because I can't take any more of these haters. My poor books. But they don't change my opinion in any way. And it's just really fun to do and see how people react differently to different things. It's crazy, really. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I've had a lot of fun doing it, even though I may have lost a few brain cells. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all the YouTube good things, and I'll see you in the next one.